Hey, what's up, everybody? One coach's opinion. I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet. A lot of people sending around a video of the guy that walked out the ring. Like, and some people, oh, he'll never fight here again, and maybe, you don't know the circumstances. But let me explain this, okay? Now, he's saying that he's asking to see his contract, and he couldn't see his contract. And a lot of people saying, well, he signed the contract, okay? Let me tell you, this is how it happens majority of the time. Okay, a promoter will send you a contract, and you'll sign the contract. Now, a lot of times, or all the time, you can request to send their signed contract back, meaning after the promoter signs it, send it back to you. So you have a copy of a signed contract by the promoter. A lot of promoters won't do this because if that fight falls out with the guy that you originally signed with, you can actually show up to the weigh-in, make the weight, and the promoter actually owes you money because you fulfilled your end of the contract. So a lot of times you won't get a signed contract back because of this, unless it's like a big fight or something like that, So a lot of times on small shows, they'll send out a contract and, the email comes in and you get the contract, you send it back. Now also, some people might send the sign page back, which is a mistake because you need to initial, if the contract has 4 pages, you need to initial the first 3 pages and then sign it and then send it back. That way you at least got your initials on the original pages, because if you only send back the signed copy, they can add 3 pages to it that originally weren't the original pages. And then they have your signed contract to go with it, So you want to have your whole contract. Now this guy could have got there. Now he's asking the commissioner to see his contract, which is his right, because I do it all the time for my guys. That way, when the fight's over, you know what they're supposed to pay you. Instead of you getting this amount and they saying, no, well, this is the contract we got. He's saying he was asking the commission, let me see the contract before I go in the ring. And they kept saying, no, we got you. It's on file. We got you. And he was like, no, I want to see it. Right there is something shady. Now, if his coach isn't trying to let him see the contract, if he can't go to his coach and say, look, man, while I'm warming up, whatever, go get that contract, I need to see the commission's contract. Because this is the contract that the commission gets. And if the commission is refusing to let you see a contract, something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. I don't know if like his coaches are handling his pay or who's handling his pay, but something's wrong, because this fighter wants to see, when I finish this fight, how much am I getting paid? How much is the commission going to pay me? Because the commission can very well have a totally different contract. They can have his signature in a totally different contract for what he's supposed to get paid. The money could change and everything because he might have signed and he just wanted to see. He's saying that he wanted to see the actual contract that the commission had, because that's what he's supposed to get paid. Now, I just did that for my son's last fight. I went to the commission and I said, let me see your signed contract, because normally we sign a contract at the weigh-in. He didn't sign a contract at the weigh-in, so let me see what they have on file for him signing. And everything was good, and I took a picture of it to make sure. So I saw what he was supposed to get paid, and I saw the signatures on the contract. So, I mean, this guy really could have wanted to see it. I'm asking you to let me see the contract. I'm begging you to let me see the contract. You're telling me, I got you. You don't need to see the contract. He's telling them, yes, I do. And they're saying, don't worry about it. We got you. And he doesn't see the contract. Then when the fight's over, he gets paid what's on whatever they sent in. He might not know, you know what I'm saying? And for people who don't know, I mean, everybody out here ain't the most faithful. For all you know, his coach could have told him he's making $5,000 on the fight, and the commission's giving them $7,500. You have some commissions, you know, I've been in North Carolina, and they paid in cash. That commission paid in cash. So when they get the money back to him, we got you. We're going to sort out the money. You just never know. I'm just saying you never know. Or this dude was a straight coward and just walked out the ring. You could say that. But his story does have some legitimacy, because if he's saying that I wanted to see the contract before I fought and nobody would show me my signed contract, he's definitely in the right. He's in the right for this, because like I said, he didn't have a signed contract on what he was going to make, you know, or he could have been making more. For some reason, this guy's saying, I want to see the contract. They refuse to show me the contract. I've never seen a commission actually refuse to show anybody their contract before they fight. You know, it's your right to see it, you know. So if he couldn't see the contract and he said, okay, you know, I'm about to make a statement. I'm tired of y'all playing with me. I'm going to get in the ring and I'm going to get right out the ring, you know. That was his statement, like, you're not letting me see the contract. And that's what he said when he went back to the locker room. They refused to show me my contract. And he might have saw this guy and said, wait a minute, hold up. Nah, I'm not even going to fight this guy on the arm. You never know what his history is, what he's been through, what type of commission that is. But really, to be honest, like I said, I just did in my son's last fight. A commission, he took me back to the room, pulled out a briefcase. He said, this is the contract we got on file. Because he said the same thing to me. He said, well, we have a signed contract from you. I said, yeah, you have a signed contract from us, but we don't have a signed contract from them. And he was like, oh, okay, well, you have the right to see it. I saw it. I took a picture of it just to make sure that we got the money we were supposed to get when the fight's over. You know, otherwise, the commission give you what? And they'll say, well, this is what we have you supposed to get, and you signed it, and you didn't see any receipt. So it's like signing something and not getting a receipt. So what you can do, fighters, you can if a promoter sends you a contract, what you can do is you can put an addendum on it, and you could just write in, this contract is not valid unless I receive a signed copy and initial it. And they'll have to send you a signed copy. I mean, some guys won't do it. You know, you got some promoters that are straight legitimate. You can trust them. And you got some promoters that you might need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Every time we get a contract, we sign both pages. I mean, sign everything. We initial every page. Because a lot of people just send the contract back. If you didn't initial the first pages of the contract, you just sent back your signature page. They can add whatever to that. And say, this is the contract we sent him, you know. And that's why you should keep your emails and stuff like that. But, you know, commission's not going to look at a bunch of emails. They're going to look at what contract is in front of them. So if a promoter gives them a contract that's in front of them and hands it to them, they're going to look at that and say, okay, it's signed by both people. This is what we're going with. If you got any disputes, you can settle that in court. But this is what we're going with. It's been signed by both people. If you don't see it. Now, if you ask to see it before you fight, then you can straighten out something. If somebody's really trying to shice and they really want this fight to take place, they'll make the adjustments. If they're wrong. Now, if you just want to up your pay at the end of the fight, you know what I'm saying, then you're wrong. You have a contract and it was signed, then you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And your remember, your signed contract, you should always keep the original contract was sent, because that's what you show them. This is what was sent to me, this is what I signed, and this is what's here. And it should match. So two things could happen. Either this guy was just scared and looked across, and when the guy took his shirt off, he was like, no, that's not gonna happen. Or legitimately, he could have been trying to make a statement and saying that I never signed this contract, or I never saw a signed contract from the promoter. I signed the contract, I sent it back to the promoter, but they never sent me a signed contract on their agreement part. And, you know, it could be anything. The commission get anything. When they're going to pay you what they receive. If you don't check, then, you know, that's kind of your fault. So, you know, don't just look at this guy like he walked out the ring. He's saying that he didn't see a signed contract from the commission. All I'm saying is it's a fighter's right to see that signed contract from the commission, to know what he's about to get paid. He's saying he didn't see it. I mean, his coach is saying, I don't know what he's talking about. For all you know, I've seen coaches, they could be in on the deal. or they could not. I'm not accusing nobody. I'm just saying, but there could be some legitimacy to his story. You know, fighters always ask the commission to see your contract. You know, if you're not signing one at the weigh-in, because, you know, you have your promotional contract and you also have a commission contract. Some commissions make you sign their own contract at the weigh-in, and that's what you're getting paid. And then you might have another contract. That's really what they dispute. No, we sent him a contract for saying he's making $50,000. And you're saying, no, I got a contract saying I'm making $75,000. The commission's contract, they'll base that on the contract they received, and that's how they'll fill out their contract. Then you sign their contract, and the promoter signs their contract, and that's what you get paid. So always ask to see that contract. You know, this guy might have been making a statement. He might have been just scared. You know, who knows? But if he's saying that the reason he didn't fight is because they were refusing to show him a contract, and he's all in the right. You know, he's in the right with this. One coach's opinion. Tell me what you think. Coaches, boxers, anybody who has an opinion. I'm out.